Hello again, everyone. Age of June here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. Of course, hi Elo. I decided to go ahead and cast this game as I just got done watching the LCS finals, and I wanted to go ahead and cast a game with one of the people that were in there. So I decided to go ahead and do that. Anybody who has not seen it yet and does not want to see spoilers, go ahead and holy cow, why are we all the way up here? Go ahead and mute me for like the next 10 seconds or so, maybe 30. But yeah, this guy right here. Hi. Ended up getting the max. He got what is it? Most valuable player, MVP. Yeah, he got MVP in the LCS playoffs. And, you know, honestly, I honestly believe he deserves it. He played really well in that game, in those games. And I wanted to go ahead, cast a game with him, Cloud9. Oh, yes. You guys did really well. And, you know, they really deserved it. Honestly, I wasn't surprised by the result. I just thought that there would have been one more. I thought TSM would win one game, but anyway. So, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about that now. Hopefully, that did not spoil it for anybody. But let's continue on. This game doesn't only have high, it's also got LMQTC No Name. It's got Shapanya, LMQTC Ackerman, LMQTC Vasily, and Golden Glue. So, I mean, this is definitely a game with a lot of names that we know. Golden Glue, of course, is the sort of replacement for Skara. I mean, he did replace him for a couple weeks. I'm not sure if that's what's going on there because, you know, Skara came back for the playoffs. So I'm not sure if that's a permanent he's back for good thing or if it was just for the playoffs and then we're back to Golden Glue. I really don't know how this is going to turn out for them, but I'm kind of curious to know. So I guess we'll end up see if Golden Glue actually does end up being part of Dignitas from starting next season. But we'll have to see what ends up happening. We do have a Nocturne here for the blue team, which means we are going to see a Feral Flare. That is a huge item on Nocturne, and you pretty much 100% expect it, as well as Shyvana, honestly. So it's going to be two Feral Flare junglers here, and that does mean that the ganks are going to be less than they could be, because both of those junglers end up doing a lot more farming of the jungle. But we actually saw a kill already from Vasily. Oh, it's Twitch, no wonder why. Okay, yeah, he is just loading up those passive spikes. In comes the Thresh, but it really doesn't matter. Man, yeah, Twitch is deadly. You've got to watch out for that expunge. And that throws a lot of people off. Anybody who has watched my channel for a long time knows that I used to play Tarek with a friend of mine who always played Twitch at the time. And people would always underestimate the Twitch damage. They would see, you know, I'm not doing too bad. I still have about a quarter of my health. And then, of course, expunge would come out and they'd be dead. They'd be like, what the heck? Nobody thinks about that. And exactly what we saw there ends up happening. And they just get utterly destroyed. Yes, he popped the summoner heal, but Twitch has way too much damage. There's actually a cleanse on Vasily, which is kind of interesting. I don't think I've seen cleanse in a very long time on anybody. So that, of course, was used in that fight to cleanse off the Thresh Flay. Because, it was slowing him down and stuff, and he wasn't really okay with that. So he went ahead and cleansed it, and was able to get out with no problem. Ackerman up here on Riven. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at all the players here now. We've got Ackerman on Riven against the Barbecue Ribs, playing Zed. Mid lane, we've got LMQTC No Name. He's going to be against High. Down in the bot lane, we've got Lucian, played by Shapanya, versus Twitch, played by Vasily, as was mentioned a little while ago. Ooh, Lucian's an annoying one to play against, by the way. Thresh is played by Bog Daddy, and he's going to be against Dignitas' Golden Glue. And then finally, we've got the junglers. Beautiful Korean playing Nocturne versus Slushy playing the Shyvana here. It's actually getting somewhat low, but of course it's okay because jungle. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like there is a 4-man gank coming in on High, and that's kind of strange, and it's kind of worthless because he just had to flash, and that just wasted a lot of time, CS, experience, everything for bot lane, and that's going to put them way behind. I don't know if they thought they were going to be able to get that off or what, but it didn't end up happening. There we go. The Thresh Flay does end up landing, though, so that is actually going to be a kill, thanks to the death sentence followed by the Flay. But even still, I'm kind of surprised they're roaming this much. We now have Shapanya roaming top, interestingly. Ackerman going down, possibly to Zed. Zed's forced to jump out, gonna get hit there by the Lucian. Lucian did manage to save Riven, but again, he's just roaming around. Twitch is down here freezing this lane, and that's giving Twitch a nice amount of free farm. Nice dark binding there from Morgana, and then just hammer in the point, she goes ahead and places a ward right on his head and says, ah, look what I did. So now he's coming back down lane. Twitch is still continuing to farm there. He has stopped freezing it, and he's now pressing it to the tower. Probably going to get some damage with the tower, but I don't know. And we still have Shapanya top, so I don't know if he's... I really have no idea what's going on here. Nocturne going into the minions, getting hurt a little bit. Oh, out comes the grab. Wait, what did that even hit? Did that hit the minion there? I think that hit the minion there. Alright, so we've got Riven coming in down here, which is just confusing the heck out of me. But there we go. Out comes that grab, and I don't know. I think it hit that minion, but I'm not sure. And that means that it did not end up landing on Twitch there, which is definitely great news for Twitch. I'm still really confused by this lane swap, as Riven Thresh is kind of a strange lane versus these guys. We do have Lucian going up and doing at least decent damage to actually, he hasn't really done much to the tower at all. He's just farming up here. So I guess that Lucian decided he did not want to go against Vasily because he figured he could not handle it. And honestly, given what we saw, he already gave up the first blood right there. And I guess he decided that he was not going to deal with that. So he went top, and Riven actually seems to be staying down here. It is Ackerman, which means it's another LMQTC person. And maybe he volunteered to do it because, you know, maybe Lucian was complaining or something. I really don't know. It's really confusing to me, though. We do have a gank coming in from Nocturne. Gonna go in on Twitch. There's the the black shield there, but the fear not gonna end up landing, and Twitch is gonna get out of this. Does not get grabbed there, and he is actually going to be perfectly fine. And I guess Nocturne's gonna go ahead and take this time to do a little bit of pushing here with them, not too much, before he goes back to the jungle because Feral Flare. Feral Flare is definitely a good reason to go back already. Hyde kind of seems to be taking a little bit of harass there from the Syndra, but nothing too huge. And it looks like Zed actually shoved this up into the tower, and we've now got Lucian jungling? What? I really have no idea what's going on here. Now he kind of seems to be heading down bottom, so I guess he has decided to unlane swap or something? I don't know, but he's coming down. The Shyvana's sitting on a ward here, which I don't think she knows. But now we do indeed have Lucian coming in, and he's forced to walk all the way around because of the fact that Shyvana is there. So I guess it's now going to be a 3 versus 3 down here. In goes the Riven, immediately stuns up Vasily. Vasily forced to flash out, but he does go ahead and turn himself invisible, so he's going to get out of this. In goes the Shyvana and manages to take down the Riven. Gets grabbed there by Thresh, but I think she's going to be out of this with no problem. So that was definitely a good move by their part. Nicely played by Shyvana, making sure to finish off that Riven and making sure she does not escape that. Up in the mid lane, we had a bit of an action as well. And it looks like Syndra was able to go ahead and take down the Karma. Okay, there's the ball, the slow, followed by the stun, and of course, another ball, and the ultimate. Boom, 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 boom. And does he die? No, he actually lives. So the other LMQTC person is actually going to escape this. Nocturne came top to go ahead and stop Zed from pushing the tower too hard. And, oh my gosh, Shapanya, what have you done? Came in, he's... Oh my gosh, is he gonna live? Yes. No, he dies. He dies. The final auto attack there from Morgana ends up taking him down, but it does give Thresh the opportunity to finish off the Morgana as well. So that's a 1-for-1, but that's a support for an ADC, which definitely puts him in the lead. Now we do have Rivens shifting back up top. Gonna go ahead, fight against this Zed, but Riven is now level 5 thanks to her duo lane down bottom. And Zed is already 6, so that's definitely putting her quite a bit behind. If Zed decides to engage, he's definitely going to have a bit of a lead here. So I really feel that this was a very strange move on their part, and I don't know why they decided to do that. But Thresh is forced to go back down bottom. Lucian's on his way back out. The Twitch is actually doing quite a bit of damage there to the tower. But Lucian was able to come in and just chunk half of Twitch's life away. There's a pink ward coming out there from Morgana onto this dragon, and it kind of looks like she's roaming up mid to possibly go in on the Syndra here. And indeed, that is what we're seeing. The Dark Binding lands, the Tormented Soil as well, and there we go. Out goes the Syndra. Goodbye, Syndra. She goes down. Actually, the kill goes to Golden Glue there, and that does free them up to go ahead and go for the dragon, which we see Morgana. Shyvana immediately switched down to go for that. Lucian still pushing here. Vasily's hanging out around the tower to make sure that Lucian does not manage to get any damage on it. And out comes the culling! And actually did a decent amount of damage there, but not nearly enough to finish him off. There's the dragon, and we've got the entire team coming up here. Oh. He apparently decided to tower dive this. There's the culling that we saw before. Does manage to let the minions tank some of it, and he's at about, about a third, I would say. And there we go. He decides to tower dive this indeed. Twitch does a decent amount of damage there, and he's forced to flash away. And now we've got Shyvana coming up from the side here, but Shyvana's actually pretty low. There we go. She places the ward out there. Gonna go ahead and immediately drag it over and exhaust him to go ahead and half his damage. Down he goes. What? Oh, stuff happening down here too. Okay. Alright, so there we go. They went in on the Thresh. I was so busy watching them, and then I saw the Nocturne ulti. There we go. Thresh getting really low. In goes the Nocturne. Gonna go in onto that Karma. Manages to land the fear there, but he does flash out. The Dark Binding lands, and that is a dead Nocturne as well. So that's a double kill there for High, which is definitely great for him. And of course, Zed in the meantime is just continuing to shove this up. I don't even remember seeing Riven. What happened to Riven in there? Riven, where are you? Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's what I was talking about before. We do actually have an engage between these two. Riven is finally 6, but again, she's still a level behind. And she's at about half health thanks to that harassment from Zed. And there we go. Zed goes in. She tries to dash out, but unfortunately she dashes a little too soon. And yeah, that is a dead Riven. Oh, man, that was pretty nasty. He knew that his Ignite was going to be enough to go ahead and finish her off. So he just said, whatever. We'll just let you die a slow, painful death as you try to run away. And it doesn't even matter. And there we go. There's that double kill down bottom. I was wondering what happened there to Riven, because I did see Zed was going in on this tower. And the last I had noticed, there was a Riven there. So I was kind of confused. But luckily my confusion is now gone. He got a decent amount of damage there on the tower, and he's still able to do some damage to it. Syndra, in the meantime, is actually shoving this wave up. And her minions are going to do some damage to the tower there. But it's not going to be an incredibly large amount. Morgana has shoved this to this tower as well, which means this one's going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Don't think it's going to go down quite yet, but it's getting really close. And if Twitch decides to, he may actually be able to finish this off. It looks like he's not. Okay. He's going to go for the minions, which honestly I don't blame him. That does keep the enemy down here a little while longer. And he's going to go ahead and toss out that cask on the off chance that the Thresh was continuing. Out comes the stealth. He gets death sentence though. There we go. He is in stealth now. And he pops out actually. So he's getting really low. In comes the Morgana though. And of course that is enough to scare them away. I mean, they didn't know she was there. But he was under tower and they figured she was probably somewhere around. So they decided to go ahead and back off. Looks like Shyvana may be coming up here for a gank on the Riven, but I'm not sure. Nope, she's not. Okay. Down the bot lane, we've got the most deadly High there. Does get stunned by Akko, the no-name there. Lands his empowered, what, Q? Yeah. And, oh, the ulti there from Syndra does a lot of damage to High. High is now on the run there, but he's going to be fine. And there we go. Here's the gank on Ackerman. Ackerman getting low from Shyvana. Forced to go ahead, jump out. And, oh, that was an early dragon form there by Slushy. And I definitely don't think I agree with that one. High circling around. Gonna get ulti there by Nocturne. Tries to slow him down. Speeds himself up as well. But there we go. There's the flash from Nocturne. There is no ulti. There's no ulti needed. Lands the fear as well. And unfortunately for him, that is a dead High. Him, of course, being High. Alright, Golden Blue hanging around here. Thresh gonna go ahead and land that flay onto Vasily. But a lot of damage came out onto the Lucian as well. And Thresh is just ripping this guy apart. Nice Dark Binding means that is going to be a dead Shapanya. And Bog Daddy's about to be taken down by Vasily as well. So that is a dead bot lane for the blue team. And that's going to be a dead tower as well. Nocturne's not going to be able to prevent this at all. And we've got Zed just going off and just proxying over here. Letting the minions get eaten by this tower. And he's going to go ahead and get back because he does not want to get killed there by Riven. First tower kill of the game, though, goes to the red team. And Shyvana's just over here counter jungling. Nocturne says, hey, that's not okay. And Cinder's there to go ahead and help him out. But Morgana's here as well, but it doesn't really matter. There was no successful counter jungle. Hai gets stunned there by No Name. And, lands a stun of his own. I think in that one, it was pretty much a tie. Oh, the fail flash there from Morgana. That was definitely unfortunate. In goes the Twitch, though, forcing No Name to go ahead and run away. Hai's trying his best to chase her down. She is running just out of range of that ability. Zed and Riven are going at it again. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll come back down to this chase down here. Looks like Riven actually came out ahead this time, even though Zed is slightly ahead there. There we go. There's the ulti. And, of course, Riven waits. Yeah, he was just in range of that. So, had he been slightly farther away, he actually would have survived that. Oh, the flash there from Twitch, and that is a dead Syndra, I believe. Although, yeah, that's a dead Syndra. And they were there just in case. They're going in on the Nocturne now. Riven knows she can't do a thing, so she's not even coming down to try. She's just going to go ahead and shove this up a little bit, get it to the tower. She is so low. One tower hit or one hit from anything would kill her. And now she's got to escape this. These guys are chasing her down. The speed buff is on Twitch, but it's not going to matter. Ackerman is actually going to go ahead and escape this. Jump over into the Baron pit. Into Morgana? No! Morgana doesn't see him. That was pretty close there. There we go. The Nocturne going in onto Hai, and he gets hit under the tower there. Stunned by Hai. And, of course, there was the Dark Binding for Morgana, but it missed. Out comes the ulti. That is a dead Ackerman as well, and the kill goes to Hai. So that was a great thing there. They thought it was just a Hai they were going at. And that was, of course, why Nocturne decided to ult. But surprise, there was a Golden Blue there. And he was going to go ahead and save his life. And that's exactly what he did. Golden Blue does actually manage to get out of this just in time. Just barely missed getting hit by Cinder there. And, of course, we've got, looks like, Thresh is just walking around warding up. And Lucian did finally get the answer bot tower kill. So it is actually 1-for-1 until now, which is back to in the favor of the red team. We've got a ping coming from the red team on this blue buff. I'm not sure why. The Nocturne's headed on over to go for it. And honestly, I don't think that the red team can really do too much to that. They're going to go ahead and let it happen. Although, looks like Zed is on his way over. The Nocturne did successfully get that blue. And there we go. In goes the Zed. Misses his Q there. And he's just going to go ahead and shadow jump over this wall. He's going to be fine. But we do have action going on down here. A Dark Binding landed onto the Morgana there. But she did manage, or onto the Syndra. Syndra did manage to finish off the Morgana. And she actually got a kill off onto the Shyvana. But she died to the Karma. And Lucian died as well. In comes the Zed. Going to go ahead and ulti up the Nocturne. Nocturne getting low. In comes Twitch. And that is a dead Nocturne. And Zed is just walking around, just trying his best to escape. He is going to escape this. Out comes the stun there from Hai onto Ackerman. And Ackerman is able to finish him off, though. He's going to try to finish off Barbecue Ribs, but it's not going to end up happening. Vasily is able to finish that off. And that is another kill there. That was a lot of deaths in a very rapid period of time. And, of course, Vasily's going to go ahead and counter juggle this. Take that, Big Wraith. No stacks for you. Beautiful Korean. And they're going to get a little bit more damage on that tower with the minions, but nothing too big. The dragon is still there, and it is pink warded by the red team, so we may end up seeing a dragon attempt soonish. Nice spell immune there. In comes the Syndra, but unfortunately there is a Vasily there. Down goes Thresh, and down goes Syndra as well to Morgana, thanks to the Morgana ulti. And of course, Shapanya is not really able to answer this. Twitch is going to get out of this with no problem, as is Golden Glue. And they're both hanging around. If a Dark Binding lands on this guy, he's probably dead. Nope, Dark Binding does not land. He's still dead. And he does not manage to finish off Vasily either. But it was a good dodge of that Dark Binding. It just was not quite good enough. But in comes the Nocturne, just destroys that Morgana. If he has ulti, he does not have ulti. But if he had ulti, he could go ahead and finish off the Twitch. Now he has ulti, now that it's slightly too late. Oh well. Unless he can get in range, but I don't think it's going to happen. No, he's just going to go ahead and shove this up. Not really surprising. Shyvana is down there going ahead, getting that dragon. And we do have Ackerman and Barbecue Ribs up top again, going in. Barbecue Ribs just defending his tower. They do manage to go ahead, secure this dragon. And a watch out ping onto Zed there. Riven's going to go ahead and head back from the looks of it. And we've got Nocturne just counter jungling up here. He's going to be fine. And Karma's on her way over. Tried to steal it. Didn't end up happening there. Nocturne says, hello. There's the stun there from Hai. Lands. In goes the Twitch. Nice dodge there thanks to the Lantern. In comes the stun from Syndra. And of course the slow from the Karma. That is a dead Syndra. And Twitch goes down to Nocturne, but Nocturne's going to go down as well to Syndra. And the only question is, will Thresh escape? I do not believe so. I think he's going to go down. Does not get Dark Binding, but he does still go down to the Syndra there. Zed is hanging around here, possibly wanting to go on Riven. He does go ahead and use his Q there. She goes in, does not manage to land the stun there. He jumps out. Nice dodge there, and that is going to be a dead Riven, but he is ignited. I think he's going to be fine. And of course, Lucian's down here going up and shoving this up. Syndra... That was mean. I liked that though. She's just sitting there laughing. Just sat there laughing because she knew she had Smite. So as soon as it got low enough, went ahead and used Smite and grabbed it away from him. And yeah, thanks for the ulti, bro. Also interrupted the back, which was kind of mean. And that is another tower killed there for the red team. And Lucian still has not managed to go back, which is kind of funny. He's finally getting out now. And yeah, he has finally returned home. But things are rapidly getting out of control here for the blue team. Red team is definitely snowballing around now. And we do have an invade here coming from the Shyvana. Gonna go ahead and grab the minions. Honestly, that is a great thing to do. Especially when you've got two Pharaoh Flare junglers, one of you getting the things and the other not. It's a great thing for the one who does. Zed circling around here. May end up going in on Riven, but I kind of doubt it. There is a Nocturne here. Nocturne does not have ult, however. So, yeah, okay. He's gonna fail the shadow over the wall. And he's going to be fine, though. He's going to be fine. Vasily and Shapanya going in down here. Lots of stacks again. Out comes the ulti, and that is a dead Shapanya. That range on Twitch is so awesome. It really is. And, of course, Cinder going in on the Dragon Lady here, and she's going to end up going down. Dragon Lady gets that kill and has no problem whatsoever. And that's a tower kill here for Twitch would be my guess. The minion waves are pushing. Morgana's going to go ahead and lead these minions away. Stuff happening here to Karma, however. And I did not even notice that was going on. Hai is a little out of position here. Actually, he's just kind of hanging around. Picked up by that ward. And I guess he gets grabbed by Thresh, which right after that, Nocturne goes in, lands the fear, and that is a dead Hai. Definitely way out of position there. I'm not sure why he was that far out. It does mean that these guys are going to get the tower, though. And it does mean that that back is interrupted. Now we've got Barbecue Ribs going in, doing quite a bit of damage to GoDaddy, or Bog Daddy. But he is going to get feared there by the Nocturne, which means he does end up going down. But it was a tower for 2 kills. The Shyvana's hanging out up here. Gets grabbed there by Thresh. The fear comes out as well, but that ability doesn't really care about that. Out comes the ulti from Nocturne, and that is a dead Shyvana. Oh, Morgana, is she going to get that? No, she just... Oh, the flash, and... Not going to get it, no. Flay comes out, but that is a dead Thresh. So, Golden Glue does manage to get a kill out of that, but not quite the one he was expecting, I think. Wow, Vasily got low as well. Vasily's going to be fine, though. Hai's circling around here on the off chance that Riven was coming up. Actually, Riven and Morgana are about to have a little bit of a fun time here. Morgana's cleaning out the wards. And, oh, nice Dark Binding onto Cinder there, but in goes the Riven, and that is a dead Golden Glue. In comes Hai, though, gonna go in on No Name, and that is a dead No Name. And now Riven has to get out of this, because Hai is pretty darn dangerous. There's the speed buff. Riven turns around, goes in on Hai, but Hai's pretty scary. Gonna go ahead and put that ability on there, land the stun. That is a stunned Ackerman. In comes Zed as well. Riven is now dead. In goes the ulti there onto Nocturne. And he flashes over the wall to try to finish off Hai. He is going to go down, but he does finish off Hai before dying. The Twitch is here as well, so they do manage to finish off the Thresh, too. And they're going to go ahead and take this the blue buff to punish the enemy team for their insolence. Shyvana is here to stop Lucian from pushing here. She says, no, you don't get to push this. And there we go. She's going to go ahead and shove it back to his tower. He's not really able to do too much to her. But of course... And she's going to go ahead and continue counter juggling. Oh, wow. Dark Binding there on the Lucian. Does manage to land that. In goes the Shyvana. Out comes the culling, but he's going to go down to the Shyvana. And there is a Dark Binding there from Morgana on the off chance it didn't end up happening. Zed is top again. 'Him' and the Riven keep going at it a little bit, but nothing too big. There's a laugh there again from Zed. Twitch and Syndra. Twitch used that ulti, and that is a dead no-name again. Twitch is just so deadly. It's kind of surprising to me we don't see him more, especially in, solo queue. I can kind of understand in... Oh, wow. That right there is why he's not played in the pro games as much. Just because of his low mobility. And that's actually what I was about to say. He does have the really low mobility, dead Morgana. And that's in large part why he's not played there in the professional level games. But in solo queue, he's really strong from what I've seen. But I mean, I guess that's just my opinion. But he always seems to do really well. The Zed is getting closed in on here. The question is, will he be able to escape this? There's a Nocturne. And he lands the fear there. Zed says, oh crap, gets feared, and he goes down almost instantly there. And that is a Baron call here for the blue team. Karma shoved this lane up, got stunned there by the Syndra. And gonna go ahead and speed buff himself, lands his stun as well. And actually that might be a dead no-name. It's not quite, but it was really, really close. He is going to escape this, but it is going to give High the opportunity to go ahead and shove this. The blue team's going in on Baron here. The question is, will they be able to grab it before the enemy team gets here? Shyvana is here, going to go ahead and land that. She gets grabbed, though, by the Thresh, and now she's going to try to get out of this. In goes the Morgana. The ulti from Shyvana goes in, and they do manage to finish off the Riven. Twitch also gets the Thresh, and that is a dead enemy team. The Lucian is the only one currently up. He's trying his best to get out of this, but he's being chased by these guys. I think he's probably going to end up going down, especially if Morgana can land a Dark Binding. Dark Binding lands, and that is a dead Shapanya. And of course, Syndra's still down here against the High, and High does manage to go ahead and finish her off. That is an ace. He got the tower as well, and now he's going in onto that inhibitor. And I'd say that's going to be dead inhibitor. He's got 6 seconds before Thresh comes up, and of course, Thresh is not going to be able to stop this. Although, he might be able to, because High is really low. High is doing his best here. In comes Riven, and the slow comes out. She's going to jump there. There comes the speed buff there onto High, though. Does manage to stop that, the inhibitor, but of course, in comes Twitch and Zed, and now Riven's in a world of trouble there. She goes down, but she does manage to finish off High, but of course, Nocturne was there as well, and he goes down. That is now a dead inhibitor. There goes the Twitch ulti, doing quite a bit of damage there. Down goes the inhibitor, and oh, Bogdaddy is really close to dead, but Lucian is dead, as is Syndra. And the question is, will Thresh die? I do not believe so. No. Nice dodge of that death sentence there. Very nice indeed. And now they're going in on the tower here. I don't think they're going to end up getting it. They do manage to go ahead and secure that dragon there. Shyvana was over there grabbing it. And of course, they're going in on this final tower. They may end up being able to get this, but the enemy team is actually coming back to life. I don't think they'll be able to close this out. The ulti there from Morgana does manage to stun the Riven, but she is going to get back there with no problem. The Nocturne finishes off the Twitch there with that ult. And now he's chasing down the Zed. Zed's going to go ahead and try to get out with his shadow, but it doesn't end up happening. And the red team is actually forced out of this base. Nice flash there just to dodge that death sentence from Thresh. Oh, Dark Binding means that these guys are actually going to escape. Oh, the speed buff, though. I think they'll still escape. Yeah, they're going to get out of this, and Karma's back to pushing top. So, it's getting really close to being a finished game. The Nexus is completely exposed, and they could probably finish this on their next push, would be my guess. Once they get everybody back up together, and if they group one lane and just shove it forward, I have a feeling they'll probably be able to push to win. So I think this game is over, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see what ends up happening here. Karma just pushed that out. She's going to go ahead and back off right now, and it looks like Nocturne's actually coming through the jungle here. He's going to run across High, lands the fear there, of course, and actually just ripping High to shreds. The heal comes out, lands the slow, though. In comes Twitch, and that is a dead Nocturne, but he does manage to finish off High before he dies, so that's a one-for-one trade. Now he's going to go for the red buff here. He does manage to go ahead and... Actually, Shyvana gets it with her smite. And Riven's just kind of hanging around here. I don't know what's going to end up happening. Twitch is going to be fine. Riven's just chilling there. Now she's chasing Twitch. Twitch goes ahead, uses that stealth. He's coming down here to possibly go in onto No Name. Thresh just died to something. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thresh is like, guys, our Nexus has all these minions on it. Please help. And then, of course, he died. So, he has no help down there. And that means that those minions are all going in on that. Twitch and Lucian going at it. Down goes, actually both of them. And Cinder actually finishes off the Twitch. Yeah, Ribbon's gonna die here. And of course, we do have the respawn preventing this for now. Nocturne's gonna try to save this as well. He is actually going to be there just in time to save it. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna matter. I think this is gone. If these guys would just shove right now, they could go ahead and finish this off. They're not, though. Nocturne is going to be able to prevent this from dying for the moment, but these guys are still slowly continuing to push this, and Nocturne is definitely not enough to save it on his own. The Morgana-Shyvana combo and Zed now are all pushing this down. They do manage to go ahead and get down this tower. They're going to get down the inhib as well, and of course there's nothing that the blue team can do to stop it. Actually, right about now there might be. Except Lucian does kind of seem to be AFK. A little bit. Oh, out comes the Nocturnal going in on Zed. Zed. Oh, that spell shield was not enough, though. Does end up going down. Nice Dark Binding there. Out comes the Morgana ulti. Gonna go ahead and stun nobody, actually. And Shyvana is gonna get out of this, though. The Cinder got stunned on top of the Deadly Tormented Soil. Nice Dark Binding as well. That is a dead Shapanya. And Shyvana does not escape this, but it really doesn't matter because while all this is going on, minions are still going in on this. And of course, that is a finished team there. Twitch was able to go ahead and mop up, and that is going to be a ace as well as the game because these minions are already here. The minion respawn did prevent them from going off and finishing off the tower, but it doesn't matter because these guys are here, and that's going to be GG. Well, eventually. There we go, now they're shoving it, and that is indeed GG. Twitch gets the final kill. So that's going to be the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night.